Target curves, really important. Maybe you use one, maybe you don't. But if you do sound system design or sound system tuning and measurement, you will definitely come across something called a target curve that you will tune your system to. And in Open Sound Meter right here, you can click Control T or Command T and you will see a default target curve, which shows all these lower frequencies 10 or 9 dB louder than the other higher frequencies. And by the way, 10 dB is double the perceived volume. So if I tell you I want it twice as loud, you turn it up 10 dBs. And we need that in live sound because if you have everything flat, it will sound very weak because there's a ton more high frequencies than there is low frequencies. So for example, in these lower octaves from 30 Hertz to 120 Hertz, about 90 frequencies. But from 1 kilohertz to 16 kilohertz, there is 15,000 frequencies. So the low end needs a little bit of help. Now I've been using a target curve from Michael Lawrence, and I'm sure it sounds fantastic on big events with huge PA systems at a very loud volume. However, in smaller rooms, it's a little bit overwhelming because he has his bass tilt at plus 15 dB, not plus 10. Plus 15 and 5 dB between 5 and 15, that's a significant amount of loudness. So I thought I want to make my own target curve that is very similar to this one, but just the bass tilt a little bit less. And I don't want to use the default target curve because first of all, I cannot export this and send it to anyone, but I'll show you how to manipulate this anyway, and then I'll show you how to create a smooth curve that you can export and send to people. So when you click Control T, it shows the target trace. You can click on it so that the controls on the bottom show up. And then you have a frequency and the gain of that frequency. So right here, if I go to 100 Hertz and change it to 63 Hertz, now that point moved. You saw it? And if I do here 5 dB, it's turned down. If I do 10 dB, it's turned up. Same thing, 250 Hertz. I can go up to 400 Hertz and this point will move. You get the point. You can create your own custom curve like that, but that stays in the software. Now to create a smooth target curve, I want to follow something. So it's important that I actually make something with a built-in target curve first so I can follow it later. So let me just raise this to 10 dB and put this around 150 Hertz and raise it up a little bit, maybe less, and move this to 250 Hertz and move this to 10 kilohertz, move it down by a couple of dB and move this up to 15 kilohertz and move it down also by a few dB. Okay, that's good enough, I think. Here comes the magic. I'll first create an EQ, Control E, or you can go to File and add Equalizer. Let's click on the EQ, and first of all, let's change the time window to a logarithmic time window. That's important. And then I'll click on the band itself, and right here I will choose low shelf and grab it and move it like so. Let's see, perhaps I'll put it at 150 Hertz. Yeah, that's good enough. And the gain will be plus 10. So this is 10 dB louder than the rest. And I'll keep the Q at 0.7 because anything less is kind of too wide and anything more is kind of too steep. Okay, good. I got this part. Now I want to tilt it down from here down to here. So I'll create another band of EQ. I'll click on the EQ and hit plus, and I'll grab this band all the way up to 20 kilohertz. And I'll turn it down just to 1 dB and I'll make the Q very wide. So I turn down the number to make it wider. But at 0.1 Q, it's really wide. So it's almost pulling everything down equally in the smooth line. Now this EQ, I cannot export this. It's not a trace. So let me create a filter, Control F. And this filter will also be a logarithmic time window. And I want it to be a low pass filter, correct? And let's mimic the Michael Lawrence curve. So I'll go up to about 15 kilohertz. And now here's where the magic comes. I'll make a math source, Control M. Or you can go to File and add math source right here. And in the math source, I'll do apply and choose my equalizer and my filter and turn it on. If I turn these off, now I have this blue trace, which is the result of the EQ and the filter together. And I can click on the filter and raise the order of the filter so it's more steep. Now I have a smooth curve that is less extreme than the Michael Lawrence curve. And this, by the way, this vector apply, I can store it as a trace Then I click on this trace and I save data as a text file and I call it my target.txt. And I save it, and now I have a target trace. So let me create a new project and I will Control I to import my target. Boom. I have a target trace of my own that I made. And if you click the link in the description, it will take you here and you can download this Daniel target curve. Just hit the 3 dots and download. This is the exact one that I showed you right now that we made in this video. If you found this video helpful, learned something new, make sure to hit the like button, click on the video on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.